selected a piece of toast from the toast rack and made a great noisy show of buttering it and slathering it with thick-cut orange marmalade, and for 4 days, too. She bit off the corner of her toast and looked at him steadily while she chewed. Well, it's meant to be a get-together for the wives, too, or should I say spouses. After all, we do have a couple of women rectors. The kindly rector mulled that over for a moment. I'm sure even the word spouses will cause offence to someone. Partner, then, although I detest that word for some reason. He took a sip of coffee and let out a little sigh. It's all so complicated nowadays. He folded his hands over his chest and gazed fondly at his wife. Although what the partners are meant to be doing while the rest of us are attending to church business, I have no idea, but I'm sure something interesting will be organized for you. He brightened, and apparently the food there is very good. Everything is homemade, and I hear the scones are especially delicious. He got up from the table, walked round to his wife, bent over and put his arms around her shoulders. Please, Bronwyn, love, I need you to do this for me. Couldn't you show just the tiniest bit of enthusiasm? She buried her face in the familiar comfort of his green cardigan. It smelled of old books with the faintest whiff of cigarette smoke. It's Robbie, isn't it? The rector asked the question, but knew the answer. Bronwyn nodded into the woolly warmth. I can't bear the thought of being away from him for so long, she wailed. 4 whole days. I know it seems like an eternity to be apart from him, but really, in the grand scheme of things, 4 days isn't so very long, and he'll be fine. Jones the vet's going to look after him, and Robbie will get lots of attention. You know he will. Everyone at the practice loves Robbie. You could leave those special treats he likes so much with the staff to give him, and we could see if Penny would look in on him. Bronwyn sniffled into a tissue. I suppose you think I've gone all soft and daft. Sensing progress, the rector responded immediately with reassurance. Of course I don't think you're daft. I know how much he means to you and how much you love him. She gave him a sharp glance. We love him. The rector hastily corrected himself. Hearing a soft clicking sound coming down the hallway, Bronwyn jumped up from her chair. She bent down as a cairn terrier, eyes bright with anticipation, trotted into the dining room and jumped into her open arms. She held him close, stroking his beige fur and murmuring, Who's my darling boy, then? She held him for a few more minutes, glancing at the rector over the top of Robbie's head, then set him down. And speaking of Penny, said the rector, why don't you treat yourself to a manicure before the conference? Go on. Bronwyn looked at her hands. They were lightly flecked with brown spots, and the smooth contours of youth had been replaced by skin that was starting to loosen. Oh, I don't know about that. The rector covered her hand with his and gave it a little squeeze. Oh, go on, he repeated. When was the last time you had a manicure? Before Christmas, wasn't it? Bronwyn met his eyes, and the two exchanged loving, knowing smiles. That's better, said the rector as he returned to his place, opened his newspaper, and began to scan the headlines. A few moments later he set it down and remarked to his wife, Listen, what do you say we decide that we're going to make the most of this conference? After all, how often do we get to go away for 4 days, all expenses paid? I'm sure someone in the vet's office would agree to send you an email every day to let you know how Robbie's doing, and that will put your mind at ease so you can relax and enjoy yourself. This little break will be a good chance for you to catch up on your reading. The drive to Harden will be lovely this time of year, and the venue is beautiful. St. Daniel's was, now known as Gladstone's Library. Such an imposing name. I haven't been there for many years, and I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to going back. He folded the newspaper in half and set it down beside his plate. Oh, and Bronwyn, there's another very special reason why I'm looking forward to this. I had an email last night from my old friend from university days, Graham Fletcher. You'll remember him. Well, he's just been appointed the new warden at Gladstone's Library. A very distinguished position it is, and he's wanted it ever since I've known him. It'll be wonderful to see him again and catch up.